With so many different iPad models and Apple Pencils available, it can be a bit confusing to choose which one to buy for digital art. In today's video, we are going to discuss about current iPad models, compatibility with different Apple Pencils, and things that you should consider before purchasing an iPad for digital art. While you watch me turn my sketchbook sketch into digital illustration in Procreate app. So let's get started. There are four different kinds of iPad models, as you're already aware. iPad Pro, the top tier one; iPad Air, the value for money kind of product; iPad, the budget friendly one, it has generation in front of its name; and iPad mini, which is portable. So after choosing the model, you have the option for 11 inches and 13 inches in iPad Pro and iPad Air. If you want someone who wants to specially have a smaller portable device for drawing, it is always recommended to go in store and see firsthand which size you prefer drawing on and compare side by side. But if that's not an option, then one thing I would recommend is a larger screen size if you're especially doing digital art professionally. If small screen size is something you're looking for specifically, then iPad mini makes more sense. Then we have the storage. All the base models now have 128 GB except 10th generation iPad. One more thing that you should keep in mind, for example, you're planning to upgrade to 256 GB iPad. Instead, you can also consider buying an iPad Air 128 GB because the price difference might not be very significant if that's something that makes sense to you. Then we have the Wi-Fi or cellular, the connectivity basically. I've always chosen the Wi-Fi model because Procreate anyway doesn't really require internet, and if I do want internet connection, I can use my mobile hotspot if I'm not around Wi-Fi. Then we have the Apple Pencil compatibility, which is very important. You first decide which iPad to buy, and then whichever Apple Pencil is compatible, you will have to buy. But which Apple Pencil you prefer can be one of the basis of deciding which iPad to go for. We have Apple Pencil 1, Apple Pencil 2, Apple Pencil USB-C, and Apple Pencil Pro. Based on the current models, only iPad 10th Gen is compatible with Apple Pencil 1, and that also charges using the iPad itself. And now, since the iPad 10 Gen has Type-C port, it uses a cable and a different connector that you'll have to purchase separately to charge your Apple Pencil 1. Then the Apple Pencil 2 used to be compatible with all the iPads prior to 2024, the Pros, Minis, and Airs. Now the Apple Pencil Pro is compatible with the newest iPad Pro, iPad Air, and iPad mini. The Apple Pencil USB is compatible with all the iPads. It does attaches magnetically to the iPad but doesn't charge that way. It has a port that you can use to charge with the charger of your iPad. It does not have pressure sensitivity, because of which I don't really recommend it for digital art, because it is one of the important features that makes the overall experience of doing digital art in Procreate app very natural. Unlike the hover and barrel roll features of the Apple Pencil Pro, it is an important feature because those features are good to have and not a must have. Doesn't really affect your digital art directly, because based on the pressure you apply, you can get thicker or thinner strokes, different opacity, and make the most of the Procreate brushes. So make sure you see which Apple Pencil is compatible with your iPad. Also, different iPad models might have different maximum layer limits in Procreate app. You don't really need a lot of layers, but yes, you can consider that if you're someone who wants to use it for animation. If you're someone who know that would need a lot of layers, you should consider before buying, and you can also check in store and check the maximum layer limit for different canvases. Now things like the XDR display, ProMotion in Pro, again, those are good to have and not a must have for digital art. I started my digital art journey on iPad 6th generation, and now I'm using the iPad Pro 2021 11 inches model with Apple Pencil 2. And honestly, while I was using the iPad 6th Gen, I enjoyed a lot doing digital art on it. It is a great device as well. So what I mean by this is that you don't need the Pro model. Just make sure that whenever you're buying an iPad, whichever model you choose, you check for the speculations whether Apple is planning to launch a newer version of it or not. For example, if you're planning to buy the iPad 10th generation, which was launched 2 years ago, there are speculations that Apple might launch another one in 2025. So if from the time you're buying to the new launch, if the time isn't much, you can consider waiting or going with another iPad. iPad or whatever the case might be. Now the illustration is complete. I'll pop up a close-up on the screen. If you want to see how I color my illustration and which brushes I use, you can watch this video next. I've also made a lot of different videos about Apple Pencils and iPads, and you can watch that playlist that I've linked in the description box below. I am also planning to launch different workshops for beginner digital artists creating digital illustrations in Procreate, so don't forget to join the waitlist if you're interested in that. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if it was helpful, don't forget to like it. You can leave any more doubts you have in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.